Hello and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia, Makina's route. In the last episode, Makina had her first day at a part-time job at the local bakery. While there was no reports of problems, Makina had promised to return home as soon as she was done. However, more than half an hour passed where she should have been home, and it turns out she had passed out on a bench in the city. Yuji went out to get her and brought her back in one piece. Let's continue. When women are in a bad mood, they eat nothing but salad for breakfast. A simple, valuable rule of thumb I learned from my time with JB. Every once in a while, she'd stumble bleary-eyed into the room in her favorite cow print pajamas, scratching her shaggy head. She'd then narrow her already menacing eyes to dagger-sharp slits and mumble, "Just salad for me." Of course, we're talking about Haru de Rayuria here, a person is renowned as Queen Hysteria in her professional life. A difference to that noble title on such morning, I would quietly resolve not to oppose her. But for some reason, we always ended up fighting anyway. Quite the mysterious phenomenon. What? What do you think you're staring at? Nothing in particular. Maybe blonde women are just cranky in the mornings by default, but then again, I guess Michiru is more or less always like this. Even if I went out of my way to be kind and solicitous now, she'd probably interpret it as condescension and flip out. That said, telling her to stop snarling at me for no reason probably wouldn't be productive either. Much less remarks to the effect of, "Go get laid for once, why don't you?" or "Your womb's going to shrivel up unless you get a little attention." In my experience, such frank but well-intentioned advice is met only with a flash of lightning-like wrath from above. In other words, the only winning move at this game is to not play. As my predecessor once put it, noblemen and hysterical women will have their way. Don't get too worked up about it. And I've never had cause to doubt the soundness of her judgment in this matter. Accordingly, while the question, "Why the hell is this girl eating breakfast in my room?" may be floating through my mind at the moment, I judge it wisest to maintain my silence. Okay, what am I supposed to do? Sachi went out this morning. You're telling me to skip breakfast and starve to death? Look, I didn't say a word. What the heck? If you have something to say, then just spit it out already. You're seriously pissing me off. Can someone please explain to me why blonde women all say the same damn things? You'd think they were all reading from one script. Don't tell me there's some sort of little red book for blondes secretly circulating among the fair-haired population, and they're all living in accordance with its teachings. Hey Michiru, what do you think of this bread? Pretty good, right? Yeah, it's good stuff, thanks again. I feel a little bad for just showing up all of a sudden. It wasn't a surprise or anything. Sachin came by my room last night and politely me asked you to please take care of Michiru-sama's breakfast, you know? Huh? Seriously? In other words, Sachi predicted that the moment she left the dorm you'd go sponge off her money like a helpless freeloader you are. Seems like the girl knows you well. Shut up you! I can cook just fine, alright? I'm choosing not to. I see. Curiously enough, I can remember JB once saying exactly the same thing. At this point, I'm about ready to wonder if that secret instruction manual really does exist. But if so... Michiru, my friend, I foresee trouble in your future. I see you drunk on cheap sake, lazily slapping together some home cooking, then coercively demanding, "Well, delicious, huh? It's delicious, right?" of your victims. On top of it all, I see you passing out on the sofa without bothering to put away the dishes or clean the kitchen. Yes, I'm afraid there's a good chance you're going to become a complete nuisance of a woman. What the heck? Since when can you see the future? Come to think of it, we did have that one little incident with you, didn't we, Michiru? I think you got inspired by some cooking manga or something. All of a sudden it's "I'll make dinner today." And before I know it, the kitchen's a complete mess. Remember that? Yeah, but I did make the Salisbury steaks just fine, right? Everybody said it was totally delicious. Well, it wasn't bad by your standards, but I ended up having to make the potato salad and Sachin got stuck cleaning up that disaster zone in the kitchen, you know? Big deal, I totally did the cooking part just fine. Listen carefully, Michiru-chan. Cleaning up after yourself is part of cooking, okay? Didn't they teach you in school that the trip's not over until you're safe at home? Do you have to say that like you're gently lecturing a dim-witted 3-year-old? Come now, Amane. I think you made your point. In any case, it's interesting to hear what that Michiru really can cook. I'd like to try that Salisbury steak myself sometime. Huh? Really? Excuse me, Yuji? Can you stop trying to wrap things up by feeding this girl a bunch of insincere lip service? What are you planning to do if Michiru swallows your nonsense and announces I'm going to make lunch today or something? Sachin's not around today and I'm busy myself, you know. Hey, Amane, I'm right here, you know. Could you be a little less ruthless, maybe? So, anyway, where's Sachi wandered off to in the first thing in the morning? Didn't she tell you? There's a festival at the shrine today. Sachin went to help set them up. Ah, what festival is it? When I was cutting through the area around the shrine on my run with Makina this morning, I did hear the sound of a group practicing with flutes and drums or something. They must have been rehearsing for the main event. Now that you mention it, Makina kept yelping, Summa Sestli Vole Dunbands this morning. I assumed that was more of her cryptic nonsense and ignored it, but I guess she must have meant summer festival and bond dance. Yep, no doubt. The shopping district is joining in the festival as well, so Sachin went to help them set up the tents and towers or whatever. And Makina's off at the chili dog stand her bakery sitting up. I'm going to be heading out soon myself. To help make the children pork miso soup they'll be giving out for free at the children's event. Oh, pretty admirable contribution to your town for such an insolent bunch. Not bad. Yep, I guess Mihama Academy might be sitting on a reclaimed land, but we are still part of our town. Well, I firmly approve of putting down roots in the broader community. Let me rephrase that. If we don't pitch in with this sort of straightforward community service, Mihama will probably get a reputation as some secretive school where God knows what goes on. I mean, it's not like our budget's coming out of the public coffers, so I doubt we'd get protesters with placards hurling eggs over the gate, but still putting a little effort into the PR can't hurt. What the heck? Way to make me sound like the bad guy for not doing anything. I wasn't implying anything. I mean, it's not like Takagi's doing anything either, right? Well, Sakagi-san is sort of the sponsor, you know. There's tons of East Beach Group banners dangling from the streetlights in the shopping district right now. Can't miss them, really. So it's all good if you just throw a little money around, huh? Oh, and apparently the chairman of the shopping district asked her to be a judge for some singing contest they're holding this afternoon. You know, as a representative of East Beach. I guess she was planning to refuse at first, but never quite managed to work up the guts to say no, so yeah, I don't think she's just lazing around either. No, it doesn't cut it, miss it. If you got the time, come help out like the rest of us. There's tons of work to do for Children's Festival, you know? You could make the cotton candy and hand it out, or help give the kids with prize tickets an assortment of sweets. Oh, this year there's a goldfish scooping ticket too, so maybe you could be a goldfish lady? Michiru in one of those light blue happy coats? Might work for you. Yeah, go for the goldfish lady. You're blonde, so the coloration works, and somehow I can really picture you as a Carney's daughter. You were trying to make that sound like a compliment, but I sort of feel like it isn't. No. Selling chicks that cost practically nothing to dumb kids really does seem like it would suit you. Or maybe running one of those semi-fraudulent die-cutting stalls where the prices are entirely at the owner's discretion. Are you insulting me? You totally are, aren't you? Now, let's all just calm down. Come help me out later if you have free time, okay? Yeah, fine. It's not like I've got anything better to do. I can't stand kids, but I'll help out anyway. What about you, Juji? I've got nothing to do either, so I'll help out if there are any jobs where a little physical power might come in handy. Then, how about helping out Sachin? Setting up a tower seems like pretty hard and all. Roger. In that case, let's finish up breakfast quickly and get going. Michiru, want a refill on that milk? Another slice of bread, maybe? It's pretty tasty stuff, isn't it? Sure, it's tasty. Guess I'll have some more, if you're offering. I don't have the slightest clue what you're angry about, but incidentally, Makina is the one who made that bread. What? Huh? Seriously? I bought a bread maker yesterday, you know. Makina needed a whole bunch of dough this morning and we tried baking some right away. Came out pretty darn good, right? So it's just the machines doing all the work then. I could make tasty bread if I had a good machine. But unlike you, Makina cleaned up the kitchen after she was done. Ugo doesn't cuss it, missy. And so, having partaken in our morning repast, we immediately head out to assist the local festivities, with Michiru and Amane joining the event staff for the Children's Festival. They proceed to brandish sticks at a group of innocent neighborhood children gathered in short-sleeved happy coats. This forced these little captives to parade through the town dragging a float that must be over 3 tons in weight. This seemingly meaningless exercise in sadism, roughly equivalent to the classic dig a hole and fill it back up again number, does serve a certain purpose. Namely, helping these impressionable youth understand it's pointless to resist adults and providing them an early introduction to the carrot and stick principle that ultimately governs our world. Still, from what I hear, Amane proved extremely popular with the kids, especially the older grade schoolboys. Most likely, a few local children were given a jump start on the road toward puberty, initializing the sad law that governs our gender: obey the breasts. In the meanwhile, my spur-of-the-moment assistant was directed toward the area reserved for the bond dance, where apparently they were eager for male help. I hurried to the plot of land for being used for the purpose, still in my uniform. There I discovered Sachi, in full maid dress despite the brutal heat, swinging a scythe around like a grim reaper made flesh. Straightening from her labors, she offered me a deep nod, the words, "Thank you for coming," spoken in tone of a commander at Luzon greeting his reinforcement, and a signal of my own politely pressing me into immediate service. The tower for the dance itself was already standing tall in the middle of the plot, and the neighborhood council's tents had been set up. The only pressing business remaining was mowing down the weeds on the edges of the area. My allies in this task, apart from the indomitable maid already mentioned, included older ladies in sweatpants with towels wrapped around their heads to ward off the sun. And here and there a few younger housewives in fashionable sports gears and sun visors, looking as though they'd just wandered out of yoga class. A wise man once said, "Our nation's greatest national security threats are the weeds that keep sprouting up in our maneuvering grounds, no matter how many damn times we cut them down." Or so I'm told. But it seems as though the invasion of the thick wild grasses hasn't confined its intolerable aggression to military targets. We have a word for those who invade our territory: enemies. Watch over by the blazing hot gaze of the sun, I quietly wield my scythe in devoted pursuit of the national interest. I think that might be taking it a bit. Although I had my doubts about this slapdash approach of readying the venue on the day of the event itself, after about 2 hours of reaping, we got ourselves a perfectly respectable venue for a bond dance. With all the construction work complete, the council just beginning to test its speaker equipment. Having returned our tools to a nearby storehouse, Sachi and I accept canned soft drinks from a plastic pail full of ice, then soothe our parched throat as we towel the sweat off our foreheads. Allow me to express my personal gratitude for your assistance, Kasami-san. Thanks to you, we were able to finish the preparations as well ahead of schedule. I have to say though, waiting till the day of the festival to mow the ground strikes me as a little reckless. Well, even if you mow the plot a week before the event, the weeds will simply grow right back again, and the shopkeepers all have their stores to attend to, so this neighborhood is fundamentally lacking in male volunteers. Makes sense, I guess. It's rather unusual for a young man to offer his assistance, so the members of the Women's Association were quite grateful to you, Kasami-san. Mowing down weeds is one thing I'm used to. Not a problem. Incidentally, several members of the association asked me if you were my boyfriend. Oh, and what did you tell them? I answered, "Please don't spread it around." How about denying it? Then again, if she just shook her head with those expressionless glass-bead eyes and said no, just a classmate, I'd probably end up feeling pretty melancholy. The human male is a pretty selfish creature. Papa! Oh, if it isn't Makina, haven't seen you in ages, since this morning specifically. Yo, reunited at last. You weren't cheating on me while I was gone, were you? Well, huh? Caught me red-handed. I was just now flirting around with a friend Sachi here.
Say what?
We were only talking actually. There wasn't any real cheating involved, so...
Well, if it's something you're messing around with, I guess it's cool.
It's gonna give me a lot of editing, guys, on Steam. Please decide what you want to play and stick to it. Seriously? What are you up to, Maki-chan? Already finished the bakery? Oh, look at you blatantly changing the subject. Kasami-san, would you please explain to me why you always feel the need to inconsiderately blurt out things better left unsaid without even trying to phrase things somewhat diplomatically? Maki-chan has officially sanctioned your adulterous urges under the condition that I be your partner, so why not try putting aside that pathetic facade for once? Come, let us mess around together.
No kissing and no going all the way.
What the hell are you saying?
Yowie!
Don't say stuff like that to Sachi, she'll take it seriously. What are you going to do if I wake up tomorrow morning to find the girl sitting on her heels at my bedside with bottled tissue on her lap?
Alright, I guess that'd be stealing one of Amani's jobs, huh?
That's not the issue here, okay?
For one thing, even Amani isn't quite that convenient a woman.
If such a scenario is to your liking, Kasami-san, I don't particularly... Okay, stop squirming around and blushing. Don't take her stupid jokes seriously, alright? I have my hands full with Amani. I'll pass on any more slots in my life.
Was somebody talking about me?
Oh, if it isn't Amani, what a coincidence. I was just mentioning how I don't need another woman with you around.
Okay, I get the feeling you've twisted the conversation in a slightly self-serving way, but I guess I'll let it slide this time.
You finished up with the children events already?
For the time being, I think we've helped as much as we can help. How about you guys?
Sachi and I helped get the venue set up. Went pretty smoothly.
I finished up my shift for the morning, and the afternoon person showed up to take over, so I'm done too.
Okay then, guess we should return to the dorm for now. Take a bath and get into our yukata.
Oh, you get some role-playing time, right? Let's do the evil magistrate game where we're charging, when we're changing, just like last year.
Damn, sounds like fun. Let me pull on your sashes too.
I hate to interrupt while everyone getting along so nicely, but where is Michiru-sama and what is she doing? Ah, right, I completely forgot about her.
Come to think of it, that bottle blonde isn't around. What's the deal?
Hey, it was actually a huge help having Michiru with us, you know. She was doing her don't get the wrong idea thing every time she handed out the candy. The kids just loved her. I guess we're in a thunder of boom these days after all. I mean, the children were seriously going nuts. They kept running after her, yelling, Michiru! And then she'd turn around and go, excuse me? Who said you could use my first name? I don't remember becoming your girlfriend or anything. Of course, that just got them even more fired up. They were all over her, you wouldn't believe it. So, the girl got a little carried away. Put on this giant goldfish costume and tried performing an original dance outside the scooping booth. No idea what she was thinking, ended up getting a heat stroke. Right now, I guess she's probably cooling off in the kiddie pool, having electrolyte solution put down her throat. That's an extremely serious matter. What's the deal with Chiro anyway? At this point, I'm really leaning towards something being seriously off in her cranium. The scene flashes before my eyes. Michiru stretched out limply in a giant goldfish costume, half submerged in a plastic kiddie pool, kids dumping water over her head using plastic pails. I feel like this might actually have exceeded surreal and looped back around to become something of a pleasant little image. I think I'd like to check up on Michiru-sama. Where is she at the moment? You know where the children hall is? By the side of the shrine? They're doing the goldfish cooping over there, so I think she'll be off nearby in the shade. Understood. Well then, if you please excuse me. Sachi's a real worrywart, ain't she?
Maybe she just wants to watch Michiru flopping around weekly. I wouldn't mind seeing that myself.
Oh, you're gonna amuse yourself with dumping water over her face, right? I'm a little interested as well, you know. We can all look at Chiro Juice going glop glop and hear it and say hardy hardy ha. Sounds like fun to me. Are you people demons or what?
What? You're not coming along? Too bad. Guess we'll have to go by ourselves, Makina.
Yeah, let's get going, Papa. Buy me one of them ice creams with that snap in the middle, okay? We can split it.
Very well. I guess I'll buy Michiru and Sachi some while I'm at it.
Ah, hey, are you trying to leave me behind? Wait up, I'm coming too.
We conclude our slightly hectic afternoon by retrieving Michiru. As expected, she thoroughly transformed into a water toy by the local children. Then we temporarily return to the dorm to ready ourselves for the festival proper. As the first hint of twilight begins to creep into the sky, the squawking of birds returning to their nests fill the air. The sounds abruptly washed out by a rapid popping of a 5-stage thunder firework, reminiscent of a bursting mortar shell. A notification that everything gone off as planned, marking the official beginning of the festival.
Oh, that's adorable! Papa, look at me! Look at me!
Oh, Japanese clothing really does suit a stumpy little better like you, don't they?
Is that supposed to be a compliment?
Here, let me get a better look. Oh, you got this thing on pretty well, don't you? Did I mind put it on for you?
Oh, that's pretty.
Makina's yukata has a pretty tight sash, so it's not too hard to get on. Oh, does that mean your sash is the real deal, Amane?
Well, duh. Where I come from, you can't get away with the pre-tight version after grade school, you know. By middle school, you get laughed at out of the festival unless you show up with the real one. Oh, my pride's in tatters, you know. Hey, it's fine in your case. That thing suits your height and figure best anyway.
They are really pretty. Both of them.
And you're always messing up your yukata anyway, so a loser sash is perfect. Well, whatever, I guess it's all good. Easier to slip it off that way, right? Also, Amane is wearing panties and she got a towel wrapped around her tummy, but I'm going totally commando, you know. Another advantage.
Sorry, what exactly are you supposed to be competing at here?
Anyway, as materialistic modern kid who hasn't even tried to learn a thing about our religious heritage or whatnot, I gotta admit I don't have a freaking clue what this here festival is supposed to be celebrating or whatever. But if nothing else, I'm no slouch when it comes to enjoying my festival to the fullest, you know?
I don't really get it, but you certainly do seem pretty fired up.
Gah! What's with the goldfish pattern on that yukata, Makina? Is this your way of harassing me? Oh, it's Qa'Rajh. Slept off your goldfish hangover? I wasn't goldfish drunk in the first place. I got a freaking heat stroke, and I've seen more than enough goldfish for one day. Well, Amane picked out this yukata for me the other day. See, look at this. Makina sash has this round fluffy part in the back, just like a ribbon tail. Pretty cute, right?
In combination with those pigtail spoilers and the cylindrical design of the clothes, it kind of resembles a vectoring nozzle. No doubt it'll prove useful for precision maneuvering in a zero-G environment. Stirs the male soul. Yes, great. I was asking if it looked cute, okay? I see. You look cute, Makina.
Ah, really?
Yours look great as well, Amane. I'm honestly impressed.
Yeah, thanks.
And as for you, Michiru, the usual outfit I see.
So what? It's not like I've never worn a yukata before, okay? I just happened to not bother today. What? You want me to wear one that badly? Is that it? Okay!
I wasn't really telling you to put one on. Just saying.
And more importantly, where are the other girls? Oh, Yumi-chan went out a little earlier in her yukata. I don't really get it, but I guess she's pouring drinks in a tent where a bunch of local big shots are gathering. She stumped out with this super bitter look on her face though. Ain't getting waited on by a woman with that sort of scowl. Just gonna make the sake taste bad? Jeez, poor girl can't even enjoy a festival in peace. Well, when you got family like that, you just gotta deal with it.
And? What about Sachi?
Why are you looking at me? I mean, I do know where she is, but still. Sachi's going around locking up the dorm since everybody's gotta be out at once, that's all. Why, speak of the devil, it is I, Kumina Sachi.
Same old maid uniform, huh?
I won't deny I was a little curious to see how Sachi pulled off a Yakuta, but I guess I should have known better.
What are you saying, Kasami-san?
It may initially appear to be a mere maid uniform, but looks can be deceiving. This summer model was designed to facilitate action in tropical jungles, offering unsurpassed protection against heat and... No, it's fine. You don't have to say the whole thing. I give up. Go wander off to Saipan or Guadalcanal or whatever. Okay then, everybody's gathered up and all, so let's set out for the festival. Yeah! Roaring like a paratrooper leaping out of her plane, Makina slips into her Geta sandals and bursts out of the dorm, clattering noisily with every step. That must be those sandals made of wood, I guess. Traditional Japanese dress code isn't exactly where I have my strongest knowledge. Oh, come on. If you're unlucky, you're gonna fall, you know? Amane hastens after Makina, her wry smile on her face, and the rest of us follows her lead. And looking at the time, I think we shall stop this episode here. We are close to 30 minutes, but not entirely there. But I don't know how long this next chapter is, and I kind of want the episodes to remain about half an hour, unless it's absolutely unavoidable. Here I have the option to stop the episode before it gets too long, and personally I prefer YouTube videos around 30 minutes. Longer doesn't mind if it's depending on the content, but anything shorter than 20 minutes for me feels a little disappointing. That's why I mostly record at around 30 minutes. So yeah, that's where we'll cut this episode here, and we shall see what happens at the festival next time. But until then, take care.